Rambo returns to the jungles of Vietnam on a mission to infiltrate an enemy base camp and rescue the American POWs still held captive there. 1985's Rambo First Blood Part 2 is on Inside Movies, up next. Hey guys, welcome to Inside Movies. My name is George McHale. I'm joined by GMB Kumichuk and Andrew Buckley. We're all writers and we review movies. Today we're talking about Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and let's get right into it. Guys, what did you like about this movie? What is the good of this movie?
Stallone's headband is perfect in this movie. Come on, let's face it. You can't talk about a Rambo movie without talking about how great his headband is and the scene where he ties it on. That's really what you pay to see, isn't it?
It's true. It's true.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, it's the only reason I watch these movies for all the headband tying. So, yeah.
I remembered not liking this movie, and I just rewatched it.
It's because it's bad, George. It's because it's so bad.
No, it's not that bad. I liked it a lot.
It's so bad. I'm getting closer to the camera just to really and grab my face.
I remembered liking it, but when I rewatched it, I didn't like it.
What you're remembering is liking. Okay, we're talking about only good. I like how Weird Al parodied this movie. I like how so many other things parodied this movie. Is ripe for parody.
Yeah.
Because it's trash.
That's your good?
That's my good. It's ripe for parody. That's
Is that the only thing?
Oh wait,
you
I
have
have
on your
another
good
good thing. I have another super good thing about this movie.
Okay.
It is directed by Cosmopoulos, right? Is the director's last name? And he had a son, which was really good because his son made an awesome movie called Beyond the Black Rainbow. Rambo 2? No, not good. But the money and like support that they had for their family, I assume as a result of making movies like this, taught their son how to make movies that were thoughtful and excellent. So that's a good thing about Rambo 2 for sure.
I have 3 good things on my list, and it was hard, guys. I used to come for this. The bad guy from Beverly Hills Cop was in it. I thought that was great. He played the Russian dude.
Do you think it's the same guy, like the character?
Greg, you like fucked my brain up when, like, I don't know how many episodes ago you said that, you know, you always see characters as running through different movies. So every time I see somebody I've seen in previous, I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's playing the same character.
Yeah, like did he survive Beverly Hills Cop and then go back to Russia?
Right. And did Kreese, you know, after kicked out of Cobra Kai, did he rejoin the army and end up, you know, in Rambo 2 or the other way around?
It makes sense, right? It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, those two were both on my good list. It was cool to see Kreese from Karate Kid, still an asshole because he only played assholes, I guess, and the bad guy from Beverly Hills Cop. And the one thing I did like about this movie is it did reposition Rambo as a hero, because as I mentioned in our review of First Blood, you've heard my opinion about that. But in this one, he was repositioned as a hero, which I thought was a good way to go with that character, because I think that was the original intention of the actual novel it was based on.
No, it's not the original intention. No,
the novel he was.
He's bad. He just killed everyone in the novel.
But it was still. But he was the protagonist though. Like, he was the main character. He drove the story forward.
This movie is trash. Let's just stay focused on the important part.
I said it was hard to pull these out, guys. I mean,
like, it starts off like awesome, like kind of prison work, and the guy comes and he's like, "We need you," and it's just like,
I'll give you that, George. That shot where there's an explosion and it's like, are they in a war zone? No, they're breaking rocks in a prison. That pan down.
I liked it, and you know, the script, like, James Cameron worked on it, you know, and which is I found interesting, and then Stallone rewrote it. Cameron had like a sidekick that they wanted John Travolta to play. That would be, you know, in an alternate universe where that exists, that would be kind of fun to see.
I'm totally down with that.
Yeah,
I'm totally down with that. I also would have. Oh my god, we're trying to be good. Okay, things I liked about it. I liked the way in which the heavy-handed plot device stripped Rambo of his technological gadgetry that a previous scene talked about how he would possess for about 10 minutes. And then he gets tangled in his parachute and has to cut it all free. I liked that part. I liked the way in which they freed him and they got him back to his bow and his knife. Even though it's dumb, I liked that. If you're going to get there, you got to get there somehow. That's a good way to do it. Build up that he's going to have all these gadgets and weapons and then take them away. That part was good.
There's a lot of dumb awesomeness in this. This was the second biggest movie of 1985, behind Back to the Future, but before Rocky IV. This was a huge hit.
It made so much money.
I love the exploding arrows when he shoots these arrows and it's just like these like huge bombs going off all over. And you're like, an arrow wouldn't do that, but who gives a
bomb
fuck?
Arrows? I liked bomb arrows. That was good. I mean, it doesn't make any real sense, but it's cool.
It is cool.
It's cool.
He comes out of the mud and he's like, and he gets that guy. I don't know. That was cool. You guys are hating on it a lot more than me. I thought it was, I thought the action was well done. I thought it was big budgeted, like, kind of as good as like 80s action could be at that point.
So many helicopters.
Oh, a lot of helicopters.
Oh, yeah, so many
definitely. So many helicopters.
And I didn't even mind like a little bit. I thought it was a bit too much, but I did like some of the political commentary where he's, talking about how, vets just wanted to, be respected when they came home and things like this.
That's actually the part I like. That's in my good list. I thank you for bringing that up. It's so small. Like in my notes, I only have this tiny spot, so it got overshadowed by all this other stuff. The Rambo movies, for what they're worth, do make an effort to talk about the deep trauma that a soldier who's risked everything and comes home and no one likes them. They don't do it very well, but that's like at the core of John Rambo. He just wants a little love.
They did that well in the first one. They didn't do that well in this one. This was just a weird little kind of...
Well, they had a line. They had a whole line in it.
To end the movie, that's what they kind of end on, is they just want to be respected when they come home.
Right?
Yeah, but to just reinforce the point from the first movie. So we just got this massive add-on sequence,
I'm pretty sure, though, Andrew, if you take that line and you lay it out, it's the length of Rambo's knife.
I think he's actually got it printed on his knife.
And this movie introduces, Rambo using the bow and arrow. I don't think he used it in the first one, did he? And then, and he's got, and him catching snakes and stuff like that. That's the first time he does that, is in this one. So, like, it kind of builds on the Rambo lore of like some of the cool things that he does. And Stallone's looking good. He's like jacked up quite a bit more than from like First Blood.
I don't know if some people would think this is good. This is literally the origin of the Expendables also. Literally the line about being expendable and what's an expendable and how soldiers are expendable. They say there's like that whole paragraph, which I'm pretty sure someone just cut out one time, pinned it to a board and said, let's make a whole movie about this when you're really old.
And he did.
And he did.
All right, guys. I feel like you're itching to talk about the bad. So
no, I want to stay on the good now. I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready. I'm going comfortable here on the good side. Things that are good about Rambo 2. Its title.
What? No, the title is fucking stupid.
Its title is
First
so
Blood,
good.
Part 2.
Part 2. First. Part
You cannot have first and 2. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's
it's great. It's wonderful. It's like poetry. Let me check my notes. I talked about the headband. I talked about the director's son growing up to be an excellent filmmaker. What else do we have this movie to thank for? I guess we can go on to the bad.
All right, let's get into the bad. What did you guys not like about Rambo First Blood Part 2?
This movie is really bad. Do you know what's good? Andrew Buckley is a good writer, and he writes good things. Andrew, why don't you tell us about some of your books?
If you do want to read something good, I do recommend my book Stiltskin. If you're a fan of, fantastical shit that's better than this movie, then it's a great delve into dark, original fairy tales with a humorous twist. And you can pick that up in the fantasy section at any bookstore.
Can we all agree that this is a movie that completely ignores the premise of its predecessor film. That Rambo 2 has learned none of the lessons that they're trying to teach in the first movie. The character himself has learned no lesson at all from movie 1, even though it ends with kind of a great lesson. And now he's just on his way to murder and mayhem and blow things up. And he doesn't know there's any of those people waiting in that camp. But he goes in there with a knife and a bow, and he ain't going there to be pleasant to anyone. He is intent on murder. And then he's like, oh shit, there's POWs here. Whew, this is justified.
Oh, well, he finds the POWs pretty quick, but then he could have rescued them. Like, it seemed pretty simple. Just like cut open that bamboo fucking jail cell and get them out of there. But instead of that, he's just like fucking around. I felt like he could have rescued them. And that's another thing that I did like, though, is he did rescue the one guy, and then they screw him over, and they don't pick him up in the helicopter. And I wasn't totally expecting that. Like, I know they do kind of, hint at it, and I probably should have picked up on it, but I didn't. And so it's like, oh fuck, they just left him there. That sucks. And then he's got to go get the other guys and try again to get them to come get him. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know, man. You guys are hating on this movie too much.
There's also go ahead.
His character had PTSD in the first one. Like, it was all about him having this post-traumatic stress disorder, which made him wage war in this town. And in the second movie, he agrees so fucking quickly to be like, okay, I'll go back then. I mean, it took so little convincing from General whatever the hell his name is, or Colonel.
Well, they're offering him a presidential pardon, or you can hang out and like blow up rocks in jail. I don't know.
He never has real good motivations for his decisions. It's always like on a whim, almost like, okay, I'll go back to go to war again. I mean, it only psychologically damaged me and fucked me up for life the first time. I'm sure the second time would be perfectly fine. But
one thing I found strange is like they make a point of like saying like his ethnic background, which I don't know, like, did they even do that in the 80s? They don't do that now. And then it's like he's German Native American. And it's like he looks pretty clearly like Italian, maybe Greek or Turkish, but like, he's from that part of the world, like pretty clearly, like that's his background. It just seemed weird to me, and it's like completely unnecessary. Like, who cares?
I don't remember it. Is that related to the book that is the origin? David Morrell's book?
Might be.
Maybe
they just kind of ignored the book though in the first movie, like in a lot of ways.
David Morrell actually went on record to say that he loved the 2008 version because he thought that was a return to Rambo being the psycho-violent one that he actually wrote in the original.
Right, as opposed to the cartoon violent one, which he is in this one.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, that brings up one of my bad points. There is so much fucking pointless action in this thing that does nothing to drive the story forward.
No, well, like which one specifically? I'd be curious.
Most of it. I mean, I guess. Okay, I'll be specific. It's everything that happens from 10 minutes in to about the hour 30 mark. I think
George likes this movie. Look, George dies a little inside every second that we are talking.
I know, but you could argue that John Wick has a lot of action in it. But it all moves as stylistic as it is, or cool looking as it is. It does move the story forward. Every single section moves it a little bit further towards whatever Wick's ending is going to be. This one was just like explosion, bloodshed. There was no cohesive, like, organizational piece to this movie. It drove me absolutely fucking nuts watching it for the second time. So once again, this goddamn show has ruined another movie that I liked.
See, the funny part about this movie from my childhood experience is I was convinced that all Rambo movies were bad because I saw clips of this one first. I saw the parodies of it, and then I saw clips of it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yes, I totally understand Rambo. So it wasn't until like maybe only a few years ago where I finally was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch First Blood, see how it all started. And I was like, wait, it could have been like this for 5 movies or however many. 5 movies. Could have been like this. Nope, wasn't. Sure wasn't. George, I want you to open your heart and don't worry about what 2 assholes on the other side of the screen think. Tell us what you love about this movie, and you don't be shy.
No,
You
you
just
don't.
let
You
it
want
out,
to know.
George.
You're on the
'Cause I
back of
see you
it, but come
dying
on.
each time we say something bad.
this is just like what I like in movies. It's just stupid, mindless action. It's like he's the guy's got a mission. If he completes his mission, he gets out of jail. He wants to go rescue these guys. That seems all right. And he's just taking down motherfuckers like one at a time. He's hunting them down. He's got his like crazy ass badass knife. He's got his bow and arrow. He's got his headband. Like it's fucking cool. And like I don't understand why you guys like are like, I don't know about this. It's like, come on, it's good. Like it's simple, but it's fun. Like it's just I like this one. I like this one a lot more than Rambo 4, actually. Like the more I think about it, is because it's not as good as the first one. The first one's got like a lot of heart to it, especially that end sequence. But this one, he does try and put a little bit of like political commentary in it. He's got like some, he's a deep thinker, even though he's a simple man. He really contemplates his actions, and he gets after it. And there's a shirtless dude wearing a headband, sneaking around killing people. It's kind of awesome. And I know there's bad things about it, and it's not a perfect movie. One thing to talk about the bad would be like I really didn't like the female character. She saves him at one point. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. It's a little bit progressive for like 1985, and she seems capable and like smart. And then she just kind of like throws herself at him, basically like, take me to America and I'll do whatever you want. And it's like, ugh, it's not great. And then they instantly like kill her. Like like within like 30 seconds of them like kissing, they like basically like fridge her, like to give like a Green Lantern reference. They just kill her to just give him like a little bit more motivation to keep going for like another 5 minutes. And it's just, I didn't like that part. I thought I would have rather her just be like this cool, competent person that doesn't throw herself at John Rambo and then die instantly. I would have rather her just kind of continue to help him. I don't know, or maybe they actually have like a real connection and he walks away with her at the end or something. I don't know, but that just
her ancestor survives to the 23rd century to appear on Star Trek, though. So as long as we're making connections to other film and franchises, I mean, there's something.
But I know you guys want to bag on it, so I know you don't like the Russians.
I like the Russians. I think they should have won. They should have won.
Right, and I'm sure there's more like that you don't like. So
I don't have anything. Well, no, I did. Where was he walking to at the end? Like he just took it. He just shirtless, just walked off into the sunset.
He's walking. He's going back to. He's walking to Thailand. I think is where he's going.
Is that where he was at the beginning of the third one? I forget where they pick him up. He's in like a fighting pit or some shit, or the third one, I think.
Yeah. See a future video to hear us talk about Rambo 3.
All right, let's get into the skinny. What do you guys want to grade Rambo First Blood Part 2?
I gave it a C- because it was on the rewatch. It was hard. It was a hard rewatch, and I will never watch it again. That's it. That killed it for me.
I give Rambo First Blood Part 2 5 Angry Russians, which is a reverse scale. It gets 0 red headbands for me.
Whoa!
It delivers on no promises of the Rambo franchise. If you had watched I'm going to look right into the camera while I say this. Like so many people did in the 80s. They saw the first Rambo. They felt the hype of the first Rambo. They went to the theater to go see the sequel. And so it was an enormous box office success, but you didn't learn the lesson of making the first Rambo. And you took the bank of the second Rambo and then made more like it, unfortunately.
Oh, guys,
George, how do you feel about this movie, buddy?
I'm giving it a B, a solid B. There's a lot of cool action. John Rambo is an interesting character to me. He's a simple man, good at killing. A little bit of a sprinkling of political commentary to kind of justify it, but not really. But just blood and guts and action, and it's simple, mindless fun. it's I don't know. I enjoyed it more the second time. So there.
George.
He's entitled to his opinion, Greg. Even when it's wrong, it's okay.
I don't know. I think like some opinions, maybe you're not entitled to.
Okay, George, I'm sorry. We've agreed that you're not entitled to that opinion.
You guys watch.
So
I'm just gonna give you like the worst edit.
I value your creative output as a creative person, George, and I'm beginning to question your motivations here.
This episode is gonna end up being George by himself. He's just gonna edit us out of it completely. It's just gonna be him just saying all the good stuff about this movie, and we won't be in it.
Wait, let's both give a deadpan delivery that he can use to edit over anything he doesn't like that we're saying about Rambo. Like, I really like Rambo 2.
This movie was so good, it changed my life.
What a wonderful film. Now, you
wish
can
they'd
feel
made
free to
more.
use that anywhere where you disagree with what we're saying, George. You just drop it over top
Just
of
throw
us.
it in there. Yeah, we'll go along with it.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of Inside Movies. Make sure to follow us on our Facebooks, our Instagrams. All those things are linked in our in the description of this video. And check out our other reviews in the Rambo series. See you next time. Peace.
Thanks for having us, George.
Thanks.